Hey there, comic book friends! It's another edition of What the Fugue. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I'm now done with my crazy hours, supposedly. So hopefully I get myself all caught up on watching everybody's videos and stuff. Some of the videos I need to get caught up on that I've been thinking are pretty cool is MAW00001 has been doing these great videos that everybody should be checking out, where he's just randomly getting numbers and taking those numbers and going through his collection, pulling out a book that matches up to those numbers that people have been giving him, and he's doing a review, and he's doing one every day. And these aren't like short little things either. It's pretty impressive. I mean, he's really doing a full review of the book, which I think is pretty cool. Just to kind of give us a sampling of his collection. It's a cool way to see that sampling, that collection, by him just picking out books and whatnot. It's pretty cool. And another set of videos that I've got to get caught up on that I've been watching. Some of them have been pretty cool. Is Constant Bromstar. Scott's been doing a countdown to Crisis, where he's been going back through some of the really old books with the Spectre and Solomon Grundy and not Spectre. Spectre? No. Dr. Fate. Hourman. Flash. Some of this different stuff, how it all is going to build up to the Crisis. And it's pretty cool, him reading back over some of those old books and talking about them and seeing what's going on. And wetting our whistle, for those of us who don't know, what happened to get us where they're at. And even those of us who do, because I've read most of those stories also, just it's cool to go back and look over it and restir those memories and thoughts about the books and whatnot. So that's some pretty cool stuff that now that I got some time off, I'm going to start catching up on watching all those and whatnot. I actually managed to go to a comic book store a couple days ago, an actual official comic book store. It's about 150 miles from my home. I had some business in the town that had to do with actual work. After that was done, I went to the comic store hoping that I could possibly collect some of those Silver Age Doom Patrols that I am missing. And of course they didn't have what I was looking for. The ones they had were ones I already owned. A few of them were in better shape than the ones I own, but right now I'm more concerned with getting them all. Then I'll worry about going back and collecting higher quality copies of the stuff that I really like. So that was kind of a bummer. I did buy some other books there. I'm still missing a few Hellblazers. I bought a few more Hellblazers while I was there, and that was cool. But kind of a letdown that got myself all amped up all day long to go and hit the comic store. So I'm thinking either the next couple days, I'm hoping to go to another comic book store, which is about 100 miles from my my hometown in Walla Walla, Washington. You guys can Google that if you want to. Walla Walla, Washington. Yeah, happening place. I worked there for a while. Never lived there, but worked there. So I'm hoping to go there. We'll see what they have. That comic book shop has always been kind of an odd comic shop. I've been there a few times. While I worked there, I lived in town working, but didn't officially live there. Went to the place a few times. The last time I was there, it was more of the cramped, confined type comic book store as opposed to a nice spread out, family-friendly-ish kind of a comic store, if you know what I mean. Not kind of talk bad about it, but yeah. So I don't even know if they have Silver Age books. So I'll take a trip there for kicks and giggles and see what we can find. Maybe I'll find something cool there that we'll talk about. Let's see what else has been going on just in the general comic book world. Kickstarter. What do you guys think of Kickstarter? Any of you guys use Kickstarter at all? I have funded a number of things on Kickstarter. I funded a Molly Crabapple project that I got a piece of art from. My daughter likes, there's a online webcomic called Bean, I think it is. I've been funding it. I funded one a while ago. It collects a large volume of them. Chloe actually owns, my daughter, she owns all of these things in print. But I just got her a big volume. I just funded another volume of that. It's a great kids comic about a character. His name is Bean, who comes from our world and a human boy who ends up being dropped in kind of a mythical fantasy realm with trolls and goblins and stuff like that, and he works in a kitchen and works his way up to basically being kind of a princely hero type figure as a young teenage boy. So I just funded another one of those for her. The reason I'm talking about this is I just funded a Gail Simone and John Calafori, I think is how you say his last name, Kickstarter project. It is a graphic novel, 80 pages. It's called Leaving Megalopolis. It is basically, the premise of the story is Megalopolis, I'm assuming, is kind of like Metropolis or Gotham or that kind of thing. It's got a bunch of superheroes in it, but all those superheroes suddenly become psycho bad guys. So suddenly all the people who are protecting your town, your city, suddenly become evil bad guys. And so your best option is to try and get the hell out of the town, if you can. So it's about a bunch of characters trying to get out of that town. So I funded it for $15. That $15 is going to get me the 80-page graphic novel. I'll also get a PDF of it and some wallpapers and whatnot. That funder is still going on, if anybody thinks they're interested in that. Gail and John, they teamed together before. They're the ones that finished out the Secret Six run. For those of you who might have liked that, John took over the art after Nicholas Scott left. I really like them together, so I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see Gail basically write another story where she doesn't have an editor to tell her she can or can't do something. Because it's always interesting listening to Gail talk about the stuff she tries to slip past the editors as far as kind of, her nasty sense of humor about stuff. So there's nobody that she has to filter that through. So I think this would be a pretty cool graphic novel. But what do you guys think of it? Do you guys use Kickstarter? Are you bothered to buy a book that isn't published by somebody that you know? It's just published out of somebody's, I'm sure they have professional publishers, but printing it, but they are actually selling it out of their house and doing all the shipping and packing and everything. Does it matter? If it's a good work, does it matter? Let's see, what else is going on out there in news? Let's talk Marvel for a few moments. I don't have anything to talk about with DC, really. But with, I do have something to talk about with DC. But let's talk Marvel first. So I see that Fox has given back the rights to Daredevil to Marvel because they didn't produce anything, which I guess is great for Marvel. What does that say about the character Daredevil? Is it just that they couldn't get people together to make a good Daredevil? Or they just couldn't figure out how to make a good Daredevil movie? Or did they decide that Daredevil wasn't a money-making property, and so they didn't care that it went back to Marvel? I just wonder if that says something about the character as far as the general movie audience goes. I was watching Sleepy Reader 666's last Sleepy vlog, and he was showing off some of the covers and stuff to a lot of the Marvel Now stuff that we are more solidified as far as what's coming out and what's not. I'm thinking that the FF book, the Future Foundation book that Matt Fraction, I'm not sure who on art, is doing, I may pick that up. It's a $2.99 book, so as long as it doesn't double ship, I'm interested in that. It's got She-Hulk in it, Ant-Man, Medusa. I like Medusa and She-Hulk. I'm not sure about Ant-Man. Miss Thing. Is that a new character? I'm not familiar with that at all. And you know, she's got, I mean, is she inside of a suit made of rock? Somebody out there tell me how that works, because that just seems weird to me. But I think this might be a quirky type comic that I might be interested in. I've been liking Defenders up to this point, because it's gotten more and more quirky. That's going to go away. This might be the replacement for that. I don't know. I was going to get the Uncanny Avengers, just because I kind of like the idea of the meshing of that story. I like the characters that are in it, but it's a $3.99 book, and I really have no intentions of picking up any more $3.99 books than what I already have. Unless I drop something else, and right now I like what I'm getting, and I'm not interested enough to drop the stuff I'm getting now to support stuff that doesn't need my support. DC stuff. Now I drew a blank on what it was I wanted to talk about with the DC stuff. Oh, yeah, National Comics. DC is putting out National Comics. It's called National Comics, and then they have different things on the title. The first one that came out was Eternity, which I highly recommend to everybody. It's a Kid Eternity story. Really like that. Another one under the National Comics is going to be there's going to be a Looker that's coming out here pretty soon. Then there's going to be a Rose and Thorn. These are just one-shot titles, one-shot issues. Why is it called National Comics? Are these characters that were bought from somebody else that was called National Comics or something like that? Why aren't these stories put out under the DC Universe Presents title? Is it because they wanted to get more of these characters out there faster? Which I can understand, but the characters that they're using are odd characters. These aren't what is normally in the DC Universe that people really pay attention to and that sort of thing. These one-shots, are they just putting it out there as feelers, or what? Anybody got any more information on that as to why or how that all is? Because that'd be kind of curious. Anyway, that's all I got this time around. There won't be any Monster Comic reviews this weekend. I haven't got my books yet. I get my books a couple days after the weekend, so expect lots of reviews rolling after that. I do have my no capes that I'll be talking about here. I'm going to record that shortly, either today or in the next couple days or something. So anyway, keep reading comics and keep posting videos so we can keep talking about them. Have a good one, y'all.